Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And it is the end of the month. We have 6 days before the 1-year anniversary starts, so it is time to update the monthly tier lists. We have 3 of them to do. We have the battle units, of which will be Clayman, Murin, and Adelman. We've got the Protector, Benimaru, and then we've got the free-to-play Aaron to rank. As far as existing units, do I need to make any changes? I think that we can move Octogram Milim down a peg into A tier. She just doesn't do what this Milim does. She is an okay replacement. Her Pierce skill is decent, but kind of outdated now. And she's not, she's an Octogram unit. So dupes of her are hard to come by, technically. So she's still a good unit, right? Don't get me wrong. She just, I don't think, belongs quite up here with, Earth Val, Shuna, Dark Val. So she just is not as useful as these characters are. Other than that, I think everyone should remain about the same, because I haven't really seen any upticks in usage for other units. It's still, these 4 up top, right? So let's get on. Let's do the first unit to come out, Murin. So she has the interesting ability to stat swap, and also has that continuous heal for 3 turns at the end of the enemy's turn. So it can be useful. On the Earth team, she is now a top tier DPS once you use that swap, and you can get a few buffs on her. She can do, very good damage. Possibly even more damage than Earth Val if you have things set up right and you have like full defense gear for her, and you've got her attached to like Trainee, who also has very high defense, and you're just raising her defense stat off the wall. So I think she's a good unit. Her heal is interesting. Not nearly as good as like an instant heal like Trainee or Valentine, or definitely not like Octogram Romorus. I think she's a fairly solid unit, and I think she probably is A tier. I wouldn't call her, game breaking. I wouldn't call her used on every team like Dark Val or Shuna. Paired with Earth Valentine, that can make a very potent Earth team. But I don't think it's enough. It's very, very wonky, I guess, is the term I've been using this entire meta. So the secondary effect of that is earth damage, which stacks up to turn 10, of which not many fights outside of this Jubilee that is currently going on goes for 10 turns. So there's not really too many opportunities to stack that, and it's only buffing the earth team, not everyone. So I think she's an A tier unit. Still very good, not quite up in the the highest tiers. Moving on to the second unit to come out, Adelman. Poison, right? How often do you actually use poison in this game? Never. Never. I don't care if it's deadly poison, of which we still don't know what the true modifying factor of that versus normal poison is. But his skills are poisoning people. He's an AoE unit. I would call him pretty D tier, right? Outside of this Jubilee, where you're doing extra damage because they have insane defense and it can't be crit, can't be pierced. Outside of that, you're never going to use him, right? You're not going to try and poison down, space tempered edge, right? So, and this isn't really going to be a factor in like other Jubilees, I would think, as far as continuous damage, because then you have Daggerel for the instant damage down here, I guess. He's just not a good unit to be summoning for, or to be like, oh man, I'm really missing that key piece, and it's Adelman and all my poison damage. Stacking poison is cool, but poison damage by itself does like 1,000 damage. So regardless of how many times you stack that, that is not the same power as stacking water damage or space damage or alt damage, right? It just does not have a true purpose outside of this one event that will never come back. Clayman is kind of the same way. He is also capitalizing on the stacking poison that Adelman is doing. He's also taunting. He's our first taunt unit, and it's unfortunate it came during a stupid meta. So I'm going to put both of them in D tier. These are not units that are going to assist your box if you're a new player. They are not going to make a game-changing difference for a medium to, semi-decent long player. And if you're a whale, then you're not really paying attention to this tier list because you already have him level 100 anyways, of which case, why are you watching this video? So, sadly, Earth 2.0 was a pretty big flop, a pretty easy skip, especially, the month before the anniversary. So hopefully this wonkiness does not carry over into the anniversary. But I still think Mirren is a good unit. Her other two counterparts are just not useful outside of Jubilee, which can be said for a lot of units, but like Hero, everywhere. Space Milim can be everywhere. Hinata and Shion can be everywhere. These are 3 major DPS units and 1 major support, yes. This support is not that support, okay? Let's get that right off the bat. This poison does not equal the hero's crit buff and rewind. The hero's crit buff and rewind is infinitely better than your stacking poison and your taunt, alright? This is why they're down here. They just do not have usage. You have an alt boost for the entire team. You have an attack boost. You're a DPS. You're a healer and orb changer. You're a healer. You're a DPS booster and orb changer. All of these units over here are better than this. Are there some units that they're better than in C tier? Maybe. But Soe has a good trait. Trainee is a healer. Ranga is a good stick for, Milim. And he's an orb changer. Veldora is an alt booster. Like, all these units have a decent place. You do not. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. Moving on to the Protector list, we have Earth Benimaru. He is, sadly, just okay, in my opinion, right? This entire tier list is just my opinion. He has a 250% boost to green skill orbs, which is cool, because it means, 3 green orbs give you max points. But he's not raising your skill cap. He's not changing other orbs. He is giving you counterattacks, which I guess is cool, but no defense, which is what you're going to need if you're going to take a lot of attacks that you're going to counter. He resets your skill cost, which is cool, right? Dark Rimuru does it, and look where he is down here. Sokka does it, look where she is down here. Benimaru resets skill cost. He counterattacks like the Golem, and look where the Golem is. His boosting is cool if the team had, some decent orb changers, of which this Earth 2.0's team, if you're using everyone, has 1. Maybe 2 if you're not using Earth Valentine. It has Aaron, and that's it. And that is not how you make a team good. 1 orb changer, you're boosting it to hell, but if you get an entire hand of oranges or blues, there's nothing you can do about it. You're just not going to get anything out of it. So, counterattacks outside of this Jubilee and Tempered Edge, not going to be terribly useful. We have the 2 resetting skill cost units down here because we just don't have a good long event that requires us to reset skill costs. That's not a Jubilee. That's why Rimuru is not terribly useful. He gives us defense. He gives us 50% defense and resets skill cost. Great. When do you ever use him? I don't. I certainly don't use him. And that has nothing to do with him being in D tier. I just don't have a reason to use him. Because right now, this game, apart from this specific Jubilee, favors Big Daddy damage and burst damage. And this is not how you do burst damage or Big Daddy damage. This is how you do wonky dinking and dodging and doing some random, whittling them down over time. And that's not what this game is geared for right now. So he is, at the end of the day, a 2.0 protector. And you can build a team that would be self-sufficient on greens, and then you can do okay. But I think he's I want to put him C. He could be hovering in between C and B, right? I think Gabiru is better because he's giving skill points, he's giving an attack boost, and he's changing orbs, right? That is infinitely more than what this Benimaru is doing, counterattacking, resetting skill costs, and boosting greens. He's not self-sufficient. So I don't think he deserves to be in the same tier as Gabiru, and definitely doesn't appear anywhere else in this list. So I'm going to put him down in C tier. He's not really going to help newer players out, right? He's just not. You're just starting out, you have basic gear, your units are terribly underleveled, you don't have too many 5 stars. Your counterattacking are going to do like 500 damage and you're just going to die. Right? This is not giving you that extra burst that even like Guy would give you by changing greens, giving you ult gauge. Chloe boosting your ult, changing greens. Shizu or Hakuro being the gods that they are. He is not close to that. And it's just, again, just this wonky Earth 2.0 meta of them trying to bring out some weird things that we don't use, and it just is it's just a cluster. The free-to-play unit, Aaron, is not terrible. She's not great, right? She is a double orb changer. Awesome. And she has that same skill as Maid Rimuru, where she increases your HP cap for 3 turns. Okay. Whatever. Outside of this Jubilee, again, you're not going to use that HP cap skill. Orb change you can use, right? Definitely can use the orb change on any team that needs it, especially in Jubilee where you get random hands and you need an orb changer. Say you don't have the one that she does. You don't have, what is it, green or orange to green. So you don't have Soe or Space Ranga. You can definitely throw her in because she's free and she's available. But outside of that, I'm not really taking her anywhere. So I'm going to put you down in C tier because your orb change is fine, but is also used by other units who are more prevalent. And your HP increase is just not useful in any other event. So it's a pretty big consensus of meh, C tier, C tier, D tier, alright? This meta is not what I would consider great. If you're a newer player, I really hope that you just have been saving your crystals for the anniversary. Please, don't summon on Spanner, because if you're starting out and you've got, like, you pulled like Water Soe on the tutorial banner and then you rolled for Clayman and you have no protector, you have no team to build around them, it wasn't a good investment. So that is the tier list update for the month of October. The 1-year anniversary is in 6 days and I pray to God those units are good. Much better than this meta, much better than Space 2.0. You know, now that I think about it, Space 2.0 was not terrible. You know, Guy is a very powerful protector. Leon, you know, AoE, he can be useful, especially now that, you know, some Jubilee stages are AoE space. Can be useful. But, again, this Earth meta was just not it. Just not it, and it really makes me sad that I spent money on it. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of my placement of the Earth 2.0 meta. Do you think I'm being a little bit too harsh on them? Because I can see a few people maybe arguing that point, but it's just how I feel, man. Let me know in the comments what you would change, but that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you all for the 1-year anniversary.